Out there laughing because I'm a man. I do thank you for all the respect and courtesy you all have showed me today. I feel like one of the girls, really, I do. And I'm used to playing that role. In my life, I found I've always been second choice. And today is no different. Melissa Kutcher was supposed to be your presenter today. And she had a really cool story about managing chickens. Oh. You want to come up and tell that chicken story? She had a really cool story about chickens. So, I don't know a lot about chickens, but I have my own story to tell that I can share with you. First of all, let me thank the presenters that went before me in a nutshell. They were awesome. They did a great job. All of that could really play into the presentation that I'm going to give you today because it was all about teamwork. Everything that you learn from those presenters are skills that you can apply to be a good member of a team and also be a good leader of a team. First of all, let me tell you that this nutshell presentation is being brought to you by Nut Gatherers Local 1968. Without them, we would not be able to present today to you. Let me let you know that I am not an expert. We have many people who have come before me who have done lots of research about being a part of a team. And I want to give those individuals credit for doing that because I am not a research guy. I live based upon experiences, and I can tell you I have been a part of some really good teams, and I have led some really good teams. And I have an exceptional team that I'm a part of here at Your Better Business Bureau and WiBN program that we manage as well. But I do want to give you the basics, the facts. Many of us have heard this. The people who have done the research, and of course Webster himself has done some research on this particular topic. We know what teamwork is. The technical definition is the ability to cooperate and communicate effectively with others to achieve common goals. But we know that there are lots of obstacles on our way to achieving those goals. And based upon our own experiences, that's what we bring to the table to make the teamwork the most successful for us. And of course, and this goes way back, I found this from 1965, giving Bruce Tuckman credit, we know all the phases of teamwork and how hard we have to work through all of those phases. And we know that any little addition to the team or any change into the team or to the product means that we go back and forth through all of these different phases of teamwork on a daily basis. But I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my own experiences. I'm talking about Teamwork Negative 1.0. This is the prequel. Prequels are really big today. This is UD Arena before the big NCAA tournament, and we had it all filmed up. Star Wars is another example. Go Flyers, we got it over here. I know Robin Bruns is in here as well. And many of us, very proud of our UD Flyers. That's beside the point. They do a great job in teamwork, and they've got a great leader there as well, and many things that we can learn from them. But this is based upon my own experiences as being a member of a team and being someone who has led teams before. And I encourage you to use your own experiences as well to make your team as successful as it can possibly be. First of all, what are the key components? All of it has to have key components. We see it in the research, and we also see it in our own experiences that we bring to teamwork every day. It's about self-awareness. You've got to know yourself first before you can know your team and what you bring to the team. It's about vulnerability. You have to be vulnerable. You have to be willing to take risks. You have to be willing to open yourself up and not build those bridges or create any stereotypes that might stop you from working with someone else. It's about diversity in your team on all aspects. Diversity in look and appearance, diversity in style, diversity in age, and realize what everyone brings. The big one, and not all of us are used to dealing with this, believe me, at your BBB, we have a successful team because we deal with this a lot, conflict. And it sometimes stalls our progress, but I would argue that it makes us better and stronger in the end. Individuality, you have to value the individuality that people bring to the table. And you have to find ways that they can showcase it. You have to be able to create a shared vision. and you have to value the assets that every member of the team brings. And sometimes you have to bring it out of them. You have to celebrate your successes with your team, with yourself, with others, with your volunteers, and you need to be aware of others and what's going on. One of the other things that we need to do is inclusiveness. You have to bring other people into the story. You have to encourage those that aren't willing to take those risks to come and be a part and find ways that you can help them contribute in ways that they may not even imagine that they could. So one of the ways that I do that, and I have been blocked from many Facebook pages because of that, is because I like to make it personal. And I like to share the stories of my own team members and bring them into the discussion. So first of all, yep, he works for us. He's standing in the back of the room right now. Sometimes finds himself in tough positions, but what we all do is oftentimes we get stuck in the box. We're always talking about getting out of the box. We all think that we're out of the box, but oftentimes we become confined to that box. So what you need to do is find ways to help your team get out of that box. And one of the biggest ways that you can do that is by being transparent yourself. Telling them your thoughts on the issue, encouraging them of your own struggles, and sharing those stories to really try and pull out the full potential in them. Be transparent, but also encourage them to be transparent. Encourage them to take risks and to get out of that box. It takes a lot of hard work, and you got to be strong to be a part of a team. You got to be strong to be a member of the team and also a leader in that team. Strong people have weaknesses. Strong people aren't strong in all aspects of their work and all things that they do. Be vulnerable. Acknowledge the weaknesses that you have, and you need to help others do the same. They expect that from you, and that's your job as a leader. And it's okay to be flexible. I'm not always right. I'm not always the smartest person in the room. Right, Melissa? You got to be straight with them. You got to look them straight in the eyes. You got to be direct. And sometimes you got to tell them hard things. By the way, this is Jeannie's grandson, and I think her daughter as well. So you got to be direct. Also, as a member of the team, you got to be willing to go out of your comfort zone. As a leader of the team, you got to roll up your sleeves. You got to show them. You have to gain their respect by getting in there and doing what they do. Now, I will do just about any job that my team asks them to do. I will do parts of their job to help them get accomplished. I will shovel the snow. I will stuff bags that we have stuffed before. I'm not always the best at it. And sometimes they tell me that I'm better served doing other things, like not touching the copier is another thing that I'm not allowed to do in my office. But to be a good team member at any level, you have to be willing to sacrifice yourself, get in there, and do the job that needs to be done, no matter what that particular job is. As a leader, you need to lead by example. Also, it's very tough, especially for me. Right, Ken? Ken's behind the camera back there. You do have to be firm. Sometimes you have to stick to your guns. Sometimes you have to be the one making the decision. Sometimes you have to be the one that's sifting through all of the conflict and try and help others come up with how you need to move forward. Also, that's our cameraman. Even through all of that, and we have had some pretty intense discussions and conflict in our office, they have to always know that you care. And though I can be tough sometimes, I can tell you I feel comfortable. If you go out to any member of our team here, they can tell you that they know that I care about them, and they know that they care about each other, even during the most tough times of our discussion. You need to know as a leader, you're not alone. They're watching you, they're learning from you, and they're holding you accountable. The hills have eyes because they're all looking at you. They want to also be heard, and they want to be valued. And so it's important that you know how to do that. Reflective listening, communication skills are important. Sometimes we get busy and we don't listen, but when there's an important issue, you really have to take the time to listen and understand what they're trying to tell you and what they're getting through to you. No matter how complicated, no matter how far-fetched, no matter how unique the staff is, sometimes you have to let them be heard, and it's okay. And sometimes you just have to shut up and listen, as you can see in the scenario being played out here. The blonde has an apple in my mouth. Every voice on your team counts. Many of them struggle to share their voice, and you've got to work with them so that they can. Diversity at all levels is important. We live and work in a very diverse community. Utsi talked about it very well. You've got to be careful not to put any walls up. You've got to take people at their value, get to know them, and learn from their experiences, but find ways to bring them in. So diversity in race, diversity in age. We are learning so much about those millennials today. They are a complicated group. They're different than any group that we've ever worked with before. We don't get it. We don't understand some of their values and the things that they bring to the table. But I am learning a lot from people like Carolyn sitting over there. And many of it were things that I had held against millennials because of their thoughts and what they bring to the table. But it is so important and so valuable. You need to let them be bold. You need to let them be bad, don't you, Melissa? Because Melissa can be bad. She can express her opinion in ways that others haven't, and I can listen to her opinion, I can respect her opinion, and many times she's right. You have to be open to that. Your ears have to be open, and you have to be willing. Let them be bold. That's the reason that we've been so successful here at the BBB. That's the reason that we were so open to WiBN becoming part of the BBB, is because we were about taking risks. And it wasn't just the CEO of the company taking risks. It was staff taking risks. It was about the relationship that I had with that staff, that they felt comfortable bringing ideas like, hey, why don't we merge with WiBN into the BBB? It's because of those things, because of their bold action, that we've been the success that we've been today. All right? Keeping it real. Let them be themselves. Encourage them to be authentic. Encourage them to feel free to come into an environment and take risks and share ideas. Encourage them. And let them encourage each other. When you create a good team, they're supporting each other. Doesn't mean that we're without conflict, but every member of the team encourages the other member of the team. The thing that we all know is you do have to create a shared vision. And these are actual team members in our office where I went around and took an iPhone snapshot of their eyes. You know what? Whoever can figure out all 4 of them, they're all here today, gets a free trip to the conference next year. But it is about creating that shared vision. And the vision is not my vision, it's not your vision, but it's the vision that all of us come up to together through communication. All right, and here's some more pretty pictures. These were actual Facebook photos of Judy Newell on her Facebook. Anybody that's friends with her, she loves putting those kinds of pictures on her Facebook page. But I thought it really created a beautiful picture of the vision that we want to create. Again, just a reminder, embrace conflict because it's not always bad. In fact, in my experiences, it's been a positive thing for our Better Business Bureau. You also, don't be afraid to put somebody in timeout. This is my VP of marketing, and sometimes you just got to put them behind bars. You do have to take that risk. Sometimes even as harsh as putting them in their place and helping them realize the viewpoints of others. She's always great. She never gets in trouble, at least not as much trouble as Melissa gets into. Oh, look, Melissa! Melissa pushes back a lot. And oftentimes, it works out really well. How much time? 2 minutes. It's okay to disagree. You need to anticipate conflict. All right? You know conflict's going to happen, so you have to be able to anticipate it. And for those that just don't understand what's going on, take the time to get them up to speed so that they do understand where you're coming from. Celebrate their successes, celebrate with them, encourage them to greater levels of success, and reward them and help them enjoy their own individual success as part of the team and beyond the team. Allow them to enjoy each other. We have a lot of fun at the Better Business Bureau, and we also get a lot of work done. It's okay to horse around a little bit. We have fun at the office, outside of the office. We have fun at these events. I'm having a great time right now. They clown around. You know that lady, Jeannie Porter? She does a lot of clowning around in our office. We let people be themselves, make them their rock stars. One of the sayings that we have, and I think Sherry Sword started it, Melissa says it a lot, is that you rock. And I have a rockin' team. Let those members of your team be the rock stars in your life because it will cause amazing things to happen. And that's all we have. I don't know if we're having time for questions for the entire group or we're done. We're done. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being here.